Please note that any opinion expressed on this show is my own opinion and does not reflect the opinion of my employer or any organization that I'm associated with or affiliated with for that matter. Most of you all think that I may be sensitive, which I disagree with. The reason why I don't get a chance to rule with emotion like most people think that I do is because I keep that stuff away from me that I know is going to make me emotional. I don't fight because I don't want to be emotional. Hey, kings and queens and everything in between. Welcome to this episode of a Sip with Samad podcast. And I'm your host, Samad. Let's jump in. It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Her eyes said it all. Long days and nights we spent until she dropped the bomb on me. Oh, when she said that she was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all, even though I love her so, 'cause she's got love for me. But she belongs to someone else. Bridge. Maybe in another life, things could be the way we both desire. There's a catch-22. Either when you with someone or you lose. And I wish I never met her. Oh, even though I love her so, she's got love for me. Oh. But she still belongs to someone else. Oh, God, I barely made it to that. Welcome back, y'all, to a Sip with Samad podcast. And of course, you know who this is. It's me, Samad. I am happy to be here. I think for those who are watching, you see I'm sporting a different facial hair look. I'm trying something different for the spring. I'm really trying something different. My theory was that if I had less facial hair, then maybe the pollen would stop messing with my sinuses. My sinuses are still jacked up from the last episode. Actually, we ended up going on vacation, had no problems, got back to Atlanta, death. It's horrible. Last night, I could not breathe at all. I didn't think I was going to make it at all. I still can't really breathe right now. Last night, both of my nostrils were both closed. And you start panicking, right? And it takes everything in me not to call 911. So I try not to wake Alan. One day he gonna wake up and I'm just gonna be laying in the kitchen because I done passed out. I try not to wake him up. And so it's like 3, 4 in the morning and I can't breathe. And I tried to blow my nose. I tried to Navage. I neti popped it. I sat over some steam. I was doing every remedy known to people. And I still could not pull it together. It was horrible. I didn't get much sleep. It was pretty bad. But here I am. We're together. Everybody sees beauty in the spring. I see death by allergies. It's so bad. I remember when I was a kid, my mother went and she took me to the doctor and I ended up getting an allergy shot. And I didn't have allergies for like 2 years. Now, I don't know what that shot was. I was a kid. I wasn't asking any questions. And for the life of me, I feel like we were going to my mother's OBGYN downtown. Downtown Patterson. So Lord knows what the woman gave me, but it was an allergy shot and I wish I can get it again. I've been trying to get it again. I can't find my mother's OBGYN anymore. I don't think she's down off of Main Street anymore. So, here I am suffering, but the singing actually helped. So when I was in high school, our teacher or choral conductor, Miss Williams at the time, I would be like, I can't take this test. I don't sound good. She'd be like, no, that's when you actually sound your best, when you can't, hear yourself, I guess. Or maybe because I'm so stuffed up, I can't hear. I never understood that theory, but she was dead set on telling us that when we had colds and stuff like that, that was like the best time for us to sing. Look at us being nasty ass kids going to school with colds. I had allergies and regular ear infections, not ear infections, maybe earaches, but my tonsils were a mess. I'm telling y'all too much business. I'm sorry. Let me get to the drink. So today I am drinking a drink that I made up myself. As you all see it spinning on my fabulous lazy Susan. I can't talk today. This is called the Tiger Woods. I think I may have drank this on another show. I think I may have, but it is a drink that I made up, and it consists of bourbon. In this case, is Knob Creek, some simple syrup, and some fresh lemon juice. And I call it a Tiger Woods because it's a spin on the Arnold Palmer. In the South, that's half and half, sweet tea mixed with lemonade. But, other places you go, they call it Arnold Palmer. Because I wanted to have somebody black, I named it after Tiger Woods. I actually went somewhere and I said, could I get the Tiger Woods? And they were like, oh, I got you. So maybe it's taking off. Y'all go order a Tiger Woods, but make sure you give me credit like the first time, and then you could do like I'm doing and be like, oh, I made that up. That was my drink. But yes, it's a Tiger Woods. It tastes very good. I like the mixture of the sappiness of the bourbon, like the maple-ishness. I just made that up, of the bourbon mixed with the lemon, mixed with the simple syrup. Oh, it tastes like a sunbeam on a nice, warm fall day. Maybe spring. I'll go with spring. So, also, I am rocking another HBCU sweatshirt today. Today, I am rocking Tougaloo College in Tougaloo, Mississippi, right up the street from Jackson State University. They're really like right up the street from each other. I went and got me a chicken biscuit from Jackson State one time. I had a work meeting and drove to Tougaloo. It was all of like 15, 20 minutes. But yes, Tougaloo, Mississippi, another private HBCU. Check it out. I love Tougaloo because when I went there was it's a liberal arts institution, but it focuses on social justice. There's a very strong social justice lean. And because of that social justice lean, a lot of their curriculum embeds elements of social justice in it. I love that because I just like talking about Black shit all the time. It's really exciting. But yeah, Tougaloo College, Tougaloo, Mississippi. Check it out. Especially if you have some kids that are looking to go to school. We need to, start supporting our HBCUs. So, continue to support our HBCUs. That implies that we don't, but we could do more. We could do better. Me too. I can do better. So let's see what's happened since the last episode. So we went on vacation. So Al and I took a vacation. It was a dual purpose trip. And so we went to Colombia and we actually had a chance to just relax and disconnect. We stayed in Cartagena the first couple of days, went to the beach. Those who are watching, you see my tan? You see my, but I got burnt. The sun burned the hell out of me. So here I am, all toasty, looking very almondy. Hey, almondy, looking almondy or maybe honeyish. I like my tan, but I don't know if it's because I'm getting older now. I keep saying this and nobody's listening. When I go out into the sun, I can't be out there long. I don't know if it's like my 20% white that's coming in and my melanin is like saying, hey, I don't know. But what I can say is I don't like this. I used to be able to stay outside all day and like I would be chocolatey dark. And I loved it. But now I really can't. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. There was that one summer, I think that my aunt used all my melanin. We went on a family vacation and she like doused me in baby oil. And I left Wildwood, New Jersey looking like Wesley Snipes. So I was that dark. I mean, I never experienced sunburn before until that point. And I haven't gone back to my original color. The only thing that's probably my original color is underneath my wrists right here and my feet. And they're dark too. So, but yeah, I got burnt. Thank you, Auntie. I really appreciated it. You probably used up some of the melanin that I could be using right now at 39 3/4. I was probably about 12 or so, maybe 11. And you used up my 39-year-old melanin that I need today. anyhow, we went on vacation. And we had a chance so in Colombia and Cartagena in particular, there is I guess they call it the Wall City, which is really nice. I love the buildings. I love the architecture. It gives you very Spanish style architecture. It kind of gives you like vibes of Bourbon Street and New Orleans, like in that area and the French Quarters. I loved it. Very colorful. We went on a tour to Palenque, which is one of the first, I guess, communities outside of Cartagena where there were free Black slaves went to set up establishment. That was interesting. It was hot as hell. Okay. You want to talk about humbling? Humbling is when you realize that your hair is not as thick as it used to be. And so the sun is beaming down on you a little bit more than it hurts. My scalp is probably burned. That's how hot it was. It was great. I'm actually going to post some videos from the trip. I try not to post like immediately after the trip or immediately while I'm in the trip either, because I don't want people knowing what I'm doing. Next thing I know, somebody pulling up on me in Palenque. But yeah, I'll share some of the videos that we took there. We also did, we were supposed to go on a museum tour, a Black History and Art tour, but that got canceled. It was another tour that we did. We went to a beach. We started at a beach club, a private beach club on one of the islands there. That was really, really fun as well. Just had a chance to sit back, relax, enjoy some club beats and sip on some cocktails that weren't that great, but I was enjoying the sun and the water. So that was that. That was that first leg of the trip. The second leg of the trip was probably the most memorable, or maybe more heartwarming part of the trip. Y'all, we got a chance to meet the surrogate. That was such a special moment. We never met her in person. So all of our interactions have been via like WhatsApp or Zoom or something like that. Was the first time that we met her. And I've been keeping constant communication with her over the, I guess, past 22 weeks or so. And we talk probably every other day. But this was the first time I had a chance to meet her in person. And it was also the first time that I realized that I got a chance to see her stomach. And I didn't know she was like as pregnant as she was. And so when she came walking around the corner, I was like, oh shit, she pregnant. And so I ended out, I gave her a hug. I was just like, wow. She told me that she felt the baby kick. It was exciting for her. It was exciting for me too. I told her I was nervous. And it was great. She said she was nervous. I was nervous. I met her boyfriend. We met her son. We met her boyfriend. And so the most difficult part of it was that we were, trying to translate. My Spanish is really bad. I practiced Spanish. I went and got a tutor, but I still can't seem to remember the words. So I'm like, yeah, let me use my Google Translator. So Alan had his Google Translator out. She had her Google Translator out. Her boyfriend had his out. So we're all sitting there at the table just talking into our phones and then holding it up to each other. It was funny, to say the least, but I really enjoyed it. She said that at the end of the day, it was good for her to meet us in person because she wants to, be comfortable knowing that she's having a baby for somebody who cares and somebody who will do right. And she said that she felt that after meeting with us. I felt comfortable with her because I talked to her all the time and I asked questions because y'all know I'm inquisitive. It was a great time. We got some ice cream after we had lunch, hung out, talked a little bit more. And so, yeah, I got a chance to meet her. She got a chance to meet us, and it really made it real. I know it's been real, but I think this made it really real. Like, a baby is coming, y'all. A baby is coming. Whew. Woosa. Let me sip to that. I had a chance to watch American Fiction. A fellow sipper and a friend of mine actually called me and was like, you need to watch American Fiction and you need to watch Origin. And so I was like, oh, bet. And so while we were flying back from Colombia, I noticed that those were movie options on the plane. I was like, yes, because y'all know I like to go to movies because I feel like when we go to movies, especially ones that are targeting Black people to watch, I feel like it's an open target. And I haven't really gotten over the whole situation of the guy going into the movie theater and shooting it up some years ago. Still bothers me. So for that reason, I just say, well, let me avoid black movies in a movie theater because I don't want no smoke. But no, it was though both of the movies are great. American Fiction, I related to so many parts of the character, the main character. It was great to see Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, doing her thing. It was also great to see Tracy Ellis Ross and Sterling K. Brown. You know, I have a friend, Takia, y'all know her, Getting Grown podcast, and she says that I'm lusty. And it's not that I'm lusty. I just like to admire beauty. That's all. That is all. So every now and then we'll be in a room and somebody good looking to walk in, and I'll be like, and she'd be like, "You're so lusty. You're so lusty." So, but no, Sterling K. Brown, it was great. The reason why I related to it is because I think that there are so many parts of family dynamics that, you know, we don't talk about, or even that we take on ourselves as the oldest or the baby or the middle child or whomever, and we don't really discuss it. And so I had a chance to kind of see how I felt a little bit sometimes. The main character was like accused of always pushing people away. And I don't know if I push people away, but I may push people away sometimes because I like to spare my feelings. I am a Cancer. Most of you all think that I may be sensitive, which I disagree with. The reason why I don't get a chance to rule with emotion like most people think that I do is because I keep that stuff away from me that I know is going to make me emotional. I don't fight because I don't want to be emotional. But the main character, they said it was a trait that I guess their father had, which was he also was detached sometimes as well. And, you know, they said it was because he was a genius. And I'm a genius. So here we are. I felt like it was a movie about me. No, but it was a great movie. I loved it. And it was also good to see how they were making fun or poking fun of the fact that people don't necessarily take serious the Black experience, right? If we present it as if we grew up like the Obamas, like if I were Sasha and Malia, right? If I presented that story, people would be like, "Oh, you don't know what it's like to live," right? But in this particular instance, this was a successful Black family, and they were they were telling their story, the intricacies. They poked fun of the fact that most people, white people, tend to relate to trauma porn, right? Like, oh, my mother was on drugs and I lived in the projects and, you know, we made it and we were living from government check to government check and we had government cheese and powdered milk and like, you know, and all those things, right? And they're like, oh my gosh. Oh, and you survived. Oh, you were resilient. Oh my goodness. Mm. This makes my giving to the United Year College Fund so worth it. And so it's like that, you know, I guess it makes white guilt feel better because they see that you've overcome such adversities. But in this particular, the main character was a writer. He wrote books, and Issa Rae was also a character on the show, in the movie, and in the movie she was a writer as well. And so her book was doing much, much better in sales, and I guess was being acclaimed by mostly white people who were investing in those books. But it was like a total mockery of the Black experience. Like it was like slavery mixed with a little ghetto, mixed with a little, I don't know what. It was like slavery and ghetto together. Who you be talking to? Y'all got to watch the movie. It was really, really good. I suggest you watch it. Now, the other movie, Origin, that was a heavy movie. And I watched that immediately following American Fiction. I should not have done that because I was already in my bag about, you know, I guess the sensationalism of our Black trauma or our trauma and our experience. The movie Origin opened up with a scene, and the scene was pretty much reenacting the killing of Trayvon Martin. And they played the audio. I still have I've not gotten over that. That is something that I think you move on, but that was a traumatizing point in my life. And so hearing that, seeing the reenactment, like I was sitting there crying and the movie had just started. Like just hearing that. We've, as a people, have experienced like a ton of senseless killings. Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. and countless others, right? And I just named the men. Like I didn't even go into the women's side of it. I just can't get over that. Like I don't. The movie opened up with it, and it talked about the book. If you all haven't read the book by Isabel Wilkerson, it's called Caste. It was pretty much providing you with context around how this book came about and how the author Isabel Wilkerson started to develop pillars to say, you know, racism is one thing, but caste is another thing. And racism probably is informed by, or I forget which one, but one informs the other, right? And there are similarities in how it's done. Essentially, somebody has to be on the bottom. And white people created this concept and idea of racism and these tiers to say that Black people need to be on the bottom, or people of color need to be on the bottom, as long as white supremacy reigns. You look at how this sort of ideal mimics itself in other cultures and other countries, Indian caste system, like they're all over the world, but they just show themselves in a different way. And so the movie highlights where that came from, but it also told the backstory, the personal struggles that she was going through as she was coming up with this. Her mom dying, her husband dying, her cousin dying. It was so heavy. I enjoyed it so much though. Right? You should watch that one too. Don't watch them back to back. Like do one week, do the other week, but don't watch them back to back. Something else I did watch was the Shirley Chisholm movie with Regina King. Yes, I think it's Regina King. But no, it was really, really good. And I thought it was good. I think her acting was good. I do feel like the storyline, however, kind of left me up, boom. Like imagine going up on a roller coaster and it's just like up, flat. So that's kind of how I felt the movie was, but I think the acting was great. She did a stellar job. I'm glad to see her back on the screen. I feel like the writing could have been stronger, or the storyline could have been stronger, because it just left us wanting more. Like what else happened? Like what other achievements happened outside of her running for the Democratic National ticket for presidency, right? Like what else happened there? And that's why I say it kind of went up, and I'm like, oh, this is building. This is good. And then it was like, but yeah, I did have a chance to watch that. Enjoyed it a lot. Also, what happened since our last episode is Queen Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter, dropped her country influenced or country inspired album. I did have a chance to listen to it over the weekend once we got back, and it's good. I think I had a chance to look at people's comments before I actually listened to it, which y'all just always upset about something, just mad for well, I mean, this ain't country. Like, when the hell did you become the know-it-all on country music, and what is country and what is not country? So, you know, people were like, well, this is not country. Well, she said it wasn't a country album. It's a Beyonce album that's country influenced, which I love. It was like, 'cause I still heard Beyonce, and I heard things that made me want to listen, but I also heard things that made me want to potentially listen to country music. So if anything, I think is drawing attention to country music for folks that don't necessarily listen to it. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, this is her country album. Like, yeah, no, I don't know if that's what it was, but y'all are always in arms about something. Anyway, I listened to it. So my favorite song is Jolene. And I liked Jolene when Dolly Parton sung it. So I was always a fan of it. But when Beyonce put that beat on it and she started doing her Beyonce and she was Jolene in, I was like, yes, we all know a dirty ass Jolene. I've experienced Jolene's in my life. So I know you've experienced a Jolene too. And, you know, just trying to take your man and stuff. I haven't experienced it recently. At this point, I think folks are just like, y'all just gonna be together. So nobody really tries to come in and steal at this point. Back in the day, yes. But I think they're like, oh, y'all really serious about this. But yes, we all know a Jolene. We've all experienced a Jolene. And she did a great job. I've been walking around the house just singing the song, Jolene, 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 Jolene. Sorry. I really like that song. And the other one I think it's called Daughter. I like that one as well. I like the whole album, but so for me, Beyonce's albums are usually something that I need to listen to and like take in. I know people who listen like the first time, they're like, I love it. And that's cool. I'm listening for musicianship. I'm listening for the flow, the feel. I want to know, like in the Renaissance album, you had to go from song to song. You couldn't skip around the album. It was taking you on a journey. And so I like to listen to the album for the journey. Right. And so I'm still on the journey, but of course, Jolene has me in a chokehold and I love it. What did you think of it? Have you listened to it? If you haven't, don't say anything. Speaking of y'all always mad about something, so I'm sure you all more recently saw the horrific tragedy that happened in Baltimore, the Baltimore area with the Francis Scott Key Bridge. And never in my life have I seen so many people who became bridge engineers overnight. So many people became 911 specialists, or I guess, what do you call it? Coast Guard specialists. I mean, I didn't understand. So everybody had a theory about, oh, it's the government trying to, like, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? Come on. Then, the racists come out of the woodworks. Well, look at this mayor, this affirmative action mayor. Like, what? I think he won by like 70% of the votes. That wasn't affirmative action. So it's just like, why can't we all just be happy? Like, we all need to go get some ashwagandha and calm our asses down. Like, you're doing too much. But it was, I just never seen so many people who felt like they knew how to build a bridge, or they knew how to sail a boat, or they knew how the 911 dispatch system worked. We ain't got nothing else to do. So we just be sitting there just trying to come up with theories about how everything is wrong. Lastly, but not least, this is not lastly, because I got one more topic. The whole Diddy thing, I'm not really going to speak on that. I'm not speaking on Diddy. But what I do want to do is say, y'all, we have a tendency to drag people down once the media or the news tells us something went wrong with them. Like, the number of times I've seen people talking in the barbershop, on social media about, I guess he's this vile person and you just know that he's bad, right? And nobody was saying this before, right? But it seems like once now that the media has come out and his home is raided and everything else, is like nobody, like we're all about tearing people down. And I'm not saying, like, I don't know enough. So that's why I said I'm not saying nothing about Diddy. But what I can say about us is that y'all need to be better knowledged. Y'all just talking about stuff that y'all know nothing about. Nobody read the court filings. I'm sure if you did read them, you probably didn't understand it fully. So yeah, like, why do we have to like drag and tear folks down? We do that with a lot of Black people who get up to a high, I guess, a spoke or at a certain level, and then something happens, something goes wrong, and we like, oh, we got to tear their asses down. Like, what happened to like us supporting each other? And I know if somebody's wrong, then let them, like, we handle business. They're not invited to the cookout anymore. But if there's not enough information that's public for you to actually draw a conclusion, what the hell are you drawing a conclusion on? I want to be clear. I'm not saying, oh, well, Diddy is innocent. He might have done some shit, I'm sure. But we don't have enough information to be able to make such claims. And y'all just listen to everything you hear at face value. Y'all need to be taking stuff with a grain of salt. And make sure that you fully understand the situation before you chime in to say, like, even the whole, somebody says if there's a video of Stevie J having sex with some white boy, a Latino boy. That was another, in the clip, it did look like it was Stevie J, but I know that video. So so yeah, that wasn't Stevie J. But it's like y'all don't know enough. And so, but y'all saw that video and now y'all saying, oh, Stevie J is gay. My people, my people, my people. Last topic. This is more of a thought of the day. Do you stop dreaming at a certain point in life? Like all our lives, we dreamt about the future. And I can remember being a kid thinking about what it would be like when I turned 21 and going to college. And I dreamt about, getting a good job. I had this picture in my head around what my lifestyle was going to be. Like I would drive a nice car. I said I would have a piano. I dreamt of actually having a daughter. I dreamt of being where I'm employed now. And so do you stop dreaming, right? And I ask that not because I think you should stop reaching or setting goals, but I'm asking that for the 40-year-old who's like still got a mixtape that he's trying to get somebody to listen to, and he's really banking on that mixtape. And so he's missed out on a lot of opportunities in life because he's really, really committed to this mixtape being the most fire shit ever. But when do you stop? Or do your dreams just sort of change and morph into, I guess maybe they're centered around the lifestyle, the plateau that you've reached that's comfortable. But I'm always intrigued about that. I hear about people who were, let's say 70 and decide to go back to college to get a degree. I hear about people who are 60, 70 pledging a sorority or fraternity. So maybe your dreams just change to fit your life where you're comfortable. People used to ask me, like, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up? And no lie, I thought I was going to be the male Beyonce. What Beyonce is, that's what I thought I wanted to be. I didn't have the background that she had that provided her with the access and the coaching and the heart. It's like she built up to what she has. So yeah, the odds of me being Beyonce, I had to kind of put that aside and I then refocused. And so maybe that's what it is. It's not that you ever give up on dreaming. It's that you refocus. Like your dream becomes refocused once you get to a certain point and you look at the odds of what it is to get to that point and whether or not it's feasible. Now, dude that's 40 and still selling the mixtape might need to sit back and say, hey, I might need to refocus because if I've been trying to get this mixtape in somebody's hands for the past 10 years and it ain't get there, maybe I should do something else. Maybe I still may be in the same field, right? Still maybe in music, just not trying to publicize your mixtape. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. So I've answered my own question. It's not that you stop dreaming. I think that your dreams refocus once you get to a certain space and time and point in your life. And that's interesting. So I'll be interested to know how my sort of dreams refocus once baby Cole Keys is here. That'll be interesting. Have your dreams refocused? Are you refocusing your dreams or are you still sitting at a place? Because there's no shade to the person that's like, no, I'm just good sitting right here. It sounds like work. Refocusing sounds like work. And it is. I think it is, at least from what I can think of in terms of me refocusing and me redirecting myself. Career-wise, I'm like still trying to figure it out. I ain't focused yet. I know where I am, but I know that it's not the last stop for me. And so it's like, what are you getting out of this? That's what I'm asking myself. And so those are questions you probably should be asking yourself when you're refocusing. But that was just a thought that I had on my mind. I'd be interested to know about you all. Like, do you all refocus? The art of refocusing. Maybe that's what I'll call this episode. But yeah, so that was it. That was all I have. Thank you all again for the continued support. So I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I did say that this season was going to be 12 episodes. Well, y'all, I think this is the 12th episode. And if I'm wrong, then you'll hear from me next week. If not, I might take a little break. I need a little break, but I'm taking a little break to do some other things that I'm working on. So some of you may know that I do voice acting as well. I host a podcast and I work my regular 9-to-5 job. And I will be a parent soon. So at that fourth job, and one of these is going to give. Hopefully not you all. I hope you stay. But yeah, I do that. And I want to do some more exploring about producing these episodes in more of a live content form. So that's why I'm going to take some time over the next couple of weeks to do that, continue to pub the podcast. I also want to do some new stuff. I had a chance to talk to one of my good friends, brothers Al. Yeah, y'all talked about him on a previous episode, so y'all know who he is. Just about trying new things, like going to different places and trying new drinks and giving feedback, but also still having a conversation. So we'll see. That's what these pauses are for. And so I want you all to know that it's not me saying that we won't be together again. It's me saying I want to hone my craft. And so in order for me to hone my craft, I can't build the plane while flying it. And so that's why I'm taking this break. But who am I kidding? I'm probably going to miss talking to y'all, and I'm probably going to miss y'all interacting with me. And so more than likely we'll be making some pop-ups here and there because, yeah, it's too long. 12 weeks is a long time. So we'll see each other, I'm sure. But please continue to share, like, subscribe, reach out to me during this little pause. I'm always loving to talk with, I wouldn't call you all fans, y'all like family. It's been a great season. It's been a great journey. And I'm looking forward to just bigger and better things in this next wave. So until then, y'all, I'm out.